You know, I just don't have enough gates, said no farmer ever. Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. Here we are, kind of at the hub, right at the center of the farm. I got to kick open a gate and let the cows over from way over there, in through here, into this field, and then into here. And why can't I just let them up from where they're at? Because I don't have a gate there. It's the most inconvenient thing. So this right here runs right down the center of the farm, splits it right in half. This is a pipeline right away, actually. Beautiful piece of land. Not enough gates. I got two gates along this side right here. I have a gate to the south, or sorry, to the east, but I don't have one to the north, which is really inconvenient. So I'm probably later this year, when I summon up the time and ambition, I'm gonna have to throw a gate in on that side. I can let them in over there, but right now that would allow them into an area where the sheep are currently grazing, and so I just don't want those dominoes to fall. So what I'll do, there's not a lot of grass left in here. They've chewed all down, but I'll let them into here. They can come into here for about 4 or 5 days, chew this down. They can have access to water from the dugout way in the bottom corner over there. And then I think I'm going to kick them away over to the southeast, where we got half a splash of green grass over there. Now the thing with rotation is, I mean, if you're not going to do it every day, if it's like us, we're trying to do it like once a week or once every 10 days, that kind of thing. You can't do this with the field glasses. You can't just look out from the house and be like, oh yeah, or even from the county road and be like, oh yeah, no, I think there's grass there. Because when you look at it, like, it looks like there's grass, but then when you come down to this level, it's like, maybe not quite as much, right? So you got to put your boots in the field and actually stand here and see what kind of grass you're dealing with, what kind of vegetation loss you got. The other thing you can really listen to is just the body language of the cows. If they're standing there at the gate, you're already it's too late. Like, you're probably 2 days behind when you should have moved them. And I mean, like, all humility aside, they're standing there at the gate. I'm 2 days too late. I know that. I recognize that, right? So it's time to move them. And we're going to go get them kicked over here right now. And they can help themselves. So yeah, right here where the cows are, you can look across this field, like I said, from the road or from the house. You'd see, oh man, there's grass for days. But all that is just tall, timothy and brome, just kind of sprigs or stands. Underneath the canopy, there's not a lot there. They've chewed it down, so time to move. I say they've chewed it down. It might be the plague of locusts we're still dealing with here in the first week of August. They should have been gone quite some time ago. Actually, our laying hens, I haven't fed them the whole month of July. I haven't fed them. They've just been eating grasshoppers, having the time of their life. Come on, cows. Oh boy, I better run. It's gonna be a stampede here. Hopefully I don't trip on an anthill. Come on, ladies. Oh, they all stopped to pause because there's fresh grass there. I probably didn't need to run that hard after all. There you go. Just takes 1 or 2 to go through. The rest figured out pretty quick. Unless you're a bull. And then you stand in the corner of the field you're not supposed to be in. I wonder where all your ladies are going. So he might be a problem here in a bit. He might decide to go over or through the fence. Hopefully he grows a brain here. I might have to chase him out though. Come on, fella. He's going the opposite direction entirely. Who knows? Who knows what's on his mind? Yeah, I can see him now. He's gonna test the fence. I'll never be able to drive that fast. There's a spot where there's a wire hanging down there. He's just gonna step right across if we're lucky. Look at that. see it? He sees it. He wants it. And he's over. And he's going to be the first one to get a treat. Anyways, we're down here in the southeast pasture. This actually legitimately does have quite a bit of grass left. But we're not down here to look at the grass. We're down here to looking for feathers. So earlier today, the wife texted me and she said, there's a bald eagle down in the field. And I mean, that's generally a sign. Bald eagles aren't really hunting stuff. They're more of a scavenger than they ever are a predator. So it's a pretty good indicator you got something dead on the farm. So I was like, okay, well, you better load up the buggy and go take a look. So she come down here, and this is why I was just looking for some feathers, and found this pile right here. Some beautiful, beautiful gray looking feathers. So our first thought, well, we've got some, what are they, Isa Browns or Loman Browns or something like that, that are about 16 weeks old. And we started with 22, we got about 18. You know, we know that a couple didn't make it because, well, there's just always going to be a little bit of that, namely him. Anyways, we're missing a couple extra. And we're like, well, where did they go? And then now there's some feathers. And it's like, okay, well, maybe we need to go quickly have a look in the chicken house and see if any of the lavender Orpingtons are amiss. And they're all accounted for. They're all present and accounted for. So what these beautiful feathers are from, I'd be interested to know. They kind of look like chicken feathers, but I guess they could just as easily be from a gosling or a cygnet, or because I mean, just the other side of that tree line is a beautiful migratory bird habitat, right? We have thousands of geese there all the time, every year. So it could just as easily be one of them types of birds. But yeah, so no dead lambs, and I'm not going to say there's no missing chickens, but certainly not that color. Not today anyways. So that's interesting. We'll see if that mystery continues to unfold or not. All right, I'm in the shop here now working on the new DAS, old 1086 that we just got. And we noticed that actually, you know, there was a brand new battery on the other side, but there's not a brand new battery on this side. And funnily enough, battery was dead 2 days after we brought it home. Well, why would that be? Chances are this old battery is absolutely thundered, and that newer battery is probably doing all the work and just leaking over into this side. Now, International, when they put these batteries in, they thought, how could we possibly engineer this the worst possible way? How can we do this the worst possible way? So they put it underneath the stairs here. They made the door open backwards for starters, and then you had to open this stair tread up with 2 strip screws, and then this conglomeration assembly here with some. That's how it's put together. Thanks, International. You're the best. Anyways, best I can figure out is once you get the floor panel open and the battery box itself disassembled, that's just an illusion. That's just an illusion. You can't actually physically remove that battery that way at all. You still somehow have to remove the stairs. You gotta pee? Don't pee in the tractor, let's go. All right, so we figured it out. In behind here, there's 2 bolts right there to hold the stairs on from the back side, even though you've pulled like 4 other bolts off. Who would have thought? They're hidden, tucked in there. Now, I realize the reason this is so much harder than it needs to be is because of the loader frame, actually. This Easy On loader kind of rides right up against the battery box. And so I can't just slide the battery out and then down because, well, I can't slide it out at all. And it looks like whoever had the tractor once upon a time just took an angle grinder and they just cut that battery box wall like like no mercy. Like just go to town with a butter knife and chop this thing up. So that's super handy. I'm not even sure if this is going to go back in, to be honest. I probably will, just to keep it where it's got to be, but it's not really doing anything. Like it's not connected to anything. It's connected at the top, but it's not keeping the battery where it needs to be. I'd be just as well to run some type of like a straight bracket here with 2 long bolts that go down to hold it in. That would probably be more effective than that piece of sheet metal sitting there bolted to nothing. So if you ever get to doing this, I'm going to warn you right now because I've made this mistake before. What's broke? Oh, Dad took the stairs off, yeah. And you're going to remove this battery. There's a whole bunch of brackets and stuff in here and some wires and all kinds of metal stuff that the tractor's made of. Make sure you pull the negative side off the battery first and get lots of clearance. Because if you pull the positive side off and that wrench touches any one of these brackets or sides of the tractor, your fingers are going to get hot real quick. Yes, Finn? Are you helping me fix it? No? Are you judging me? Yeah? All right. Well, at least she's honest. That was a lot of work. But the battery's out. And yeah, I mean, it's round. It's like a football. So it's done. So that's going to have to go to the landfill. It's interesting is it's got like threaded connections up here. But it looks like what they did is they just put the battery post on top and then poured lead or babbitt or solder or something on there. Instead of, maybe that's a normal battery design, but I've never seen one like that before. But anyways, I found it was really interesting when I went to that sale. They must have had 8, 9, 10 right angle grinders. And I think it's safe to say there's some people that just should not own a grinder because like when they make modifications to equipment, it doesn't always make it better. And in this case, I would say without a doubt, it did not make battery installation removal in any way, shape or form easier. Not at all. They probably just could have left, like I said, just left that front face plate off the battery cover and just put in a bar with 2 long bolts to hold the battery in place. And it would have been triple happy teddy bears. You wouldn't have to cut anything. You wouldn't have to unbolt anything unnatural, you know, that wouldn't already have to be unbolted anyways. And the next guy wouldn't have to fight with it so much. Anyways, I'm gonna go get the new battery and get that installed and get this thing fired back up. So I'm gonna let you go for now. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.